Well, the Rhode Island Turnpike and Bridge Authority voting unanimously to approve a safety barrier feasibility study on 2 Rhode Island bridges.
For some, the news is welcome, but for others, it's not enough, calling for more access to safety barriers for bridges across our state. 12 News reporter Matt Paddock joins us now live in studio with the very latest. Matt?
Shannon, Kim, the Rhode Island Turnpike and Bridge Authority approving funding for a feasibility study on both the Mount Hope and Jamestown Verrazzano bridges. But for one advocacy group, they say time is of the essence. 2 Rhode Island bridges could look a little different in the near future after $1 million of funding was secured from ARPA to study the feasibility of installing safety suicide barricades on those bridges.
Can't afford to wait. We have to move with more sense of urgency.
But for Melissa Cotta, co-founder of Bridging the Gap for Safety and Healing, a suicide prevention advocacy group, urgency is everything.
We are always pushing to get temporary barriers up while we wait for the studies to be completed, and also for permanent barriers as well.
Cotta says she's experienced the pain and loss of life firsthand from the lack of these barriers, which is why she says it's so important to continue talking about mental health and doing all that we can to keep those in our state safe.
I was a witness to a jump on one of these bridges, and it has forever changed my life. Initially, it was very difficult. It was several months before I really was able to wrap my head around, well, what am I going to do now?
Her mission, raise awareness about mental health, but also take measures to try and stop this tragedy from happening again.
We will move as quickly as we can on the feasibility study to see what exactly is feasible.
For Lori Silvera, executive director of the Rhode Island Turnpike and Bridge Authority, any loss of life is devastating.
We don't want this happening at all.
But she says these bridges are getting old and they need to be sure that they are fully functioning.
As I say, I always come back to the fact that our job is to maintain these bridges in a safe condition and make certain that they function the way they're supposed to function.
The Turnpike and Bridge Authority says the study should begin as early as January of 2023. Reporting live in studio, Matt Paddock, 12 News.